Think like someone who deserves everything and start from this one truth. Your energy is not random. It is a signal. The universe does not respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you are tuned to. So here you are, and here your inner being is, and the entire game becomes simpler the moment you stop pretending you do not know how you feel. How you feel is your indicator. It is the most honest dashboard you have. Joy feels like joy. Despair feels like despair. Relief feels like relief. These are not just emotions, they are frequencies. And if you are serious about creating a life that feels aligned with who you really are, the decision is not how to force an outcome, but how to choose alignment. Nothing is more important than that you feel good, and that choice begins one honest step at a time. The emotional scale is real and lived experience. There is a measurable difference between depression and joy, and you can feel it in your body. That feeling is the guidance. Teachers have said follow your bliss, and it is beautiful advice, but sometimes you cannot even sense bliss. When you are in despair, the path to bliss is not a leap, it is a ladder. Law of attraction does not reward words that are not matched by vibration. It meets you where you actually are. If something has happened, and your attention is locked onto it and you feel awful, you cannot receive what exists at a very different frequency. This is why overly positive encouragement can feel unbearable when you are struggling. You are not wrong. You're experiencing vibrational relativity. You are tuned to different stations. You cannot hear each other, and you are not meant to force it. This is freeing when you understand it. You do not need to justify your state to anyone who is not on the same frequency, and you do not need to lower yourself to prove compassion. If you are an uplifter, your service is not to drown in someone else's storm. Your service is to stabilize your own signal so clearly that when someone is ready, they can find you. When someone shows up in your experience, it is not your responsibility to meet them in their lower vibration. It is an opportunity to hold your alignment and allow them the choice to rise. Exhaustion comes when you try to manage a third factor, what everyone else is living, believing, or reacting to. That is impossible math. There are only two things you can actually manage: who you really are and what you are choosing right now. When you stay tuned to yourself and stop scattering your energy, alignment becomes natural. A great deal of vibrational alignment happens before anything becomes visible. That is not delay, it is protection. It gives you time to pivot before a vibration solidifies into manifestation. The way you feel right now matters. It is an indicator of what you are moving toward. Some of what is coming will delight you. Some of it will not. None of it is accidental. Creation follows focus. You can be moving away from sickness toward wellness before any physical evidence appears, simply because your emotional state is trending toward ease, appreciation, and relief. You can also be moving toward illness without symptoms if you are consistently practicing fear, anger, and despair. Nothing comes out of nowhere. Vibrations are rehearsed. They are repeated. They are normalized. This is why emotions are guidance, not punishment. They're not there to shame you. They are there to inform you when you are pinching off alignment with your inner being. Negative emotion does not mean you are broken. It means the thought you are thinking is not in agreement with who you really are. The work is not to avoid discomfort, but to use it. You are not meant to demand bliss from despair or enlightenment from rage. The work is to reach for the best feeling thought available to you right now. That is power. If you are angry, find a thought that feels slightly less angry. If you are afraid, find a thought that feels a little steadier. If you are numb, even anger can be relief. This is not regression. This is movement. Relief is alignment. Alignment is power. One of the greatest traps is the belief that you must push against what you do not want in order to protect yourself. This universe does not work through exclusion. It works through vibration. When you shout no at something, you activate it. Attention is inclusion. Whatever you repeatedly focus on becomes active in your frequency. You get what you rehearse. You get what you keep emotionally vivid. Fighting something often keeps it close. You do not need to remove unwanted things from the world to live well. Simply need to stop activating them in your vibration. You can be informed without being indoctrinated. You can care without rehearsing fear. You can be compassionate without being contaminated. This is energetic self-respect. You are source energy embodied. Well-being is the default. Do not need to earn it. You only need to stop resisting it. When you catch yourself fixated on what you do not want, do not panic. Remember the buffer. There is time between activation and manifestation. That time is your pivot window. And your pivot does not need to be dramatic. It can be as simple as making peace with where you are. Making peace improves your vibration immediately, and improvement moves you faster than struggle ever could. There is no finish line in creation. Contrast will always launch new desires. Question is whether you experience the journey as comfort or discomfort. Alignment feels like ease. Misalignment feels like strain. Discomfort is not a verdict. It is guidance. You are not failing. You are calibrating. You are not behind. You are mid-process. If you want a simple doorway into alignment, choose one emotional word like ease, fun, or relief. Sit quietly and ponder it. Do not force thoughts. Let them flow. This is focused meditation. As your signal stabilizes, life begins to cooperate. Not because you forced reality to obey you, but because your frequency became coherent. Your focused energy becomes a signal the universe cannot ignore when it is consistent, clean, and honest. You do not need to suffer to deserve what you want. You do not need to prove worth through effort. The universe is already willing. The only question is whether you are letting it in. So choose the mantra that actually works. Nothing is more important than that. I feel good, and I will reach for the best feeling thought available to me right now. If I am angry, I will reach for less anger. If I am afraid, I will reach for steadier ground. If I feel heavy, I will reach for relief. I will respect my progress. I will stop punishing myself for being partway there. I deserve the life I want, and I deserve to arrive in a way that feels like ease.